done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kusa. You ain't here for my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric
It's the foot on the gas, other one on their necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Shakur, and this is your second dose of your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, and please don't forget to double check and make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you have not been receiving your notifications. Okay, make sure you're doing your due diligence. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Hello, J Love the Queen, we the people. All right, Alice is here, the lovely T, Emmanuel, or songwriter Sunny. All right, let's get into it. Pearly G from the land. DJ Big Six is in the virtual building. Alice is here. All right. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Bronze Flat Power God. Okay, let's get into it. OG Patrice. We the people, DJ Big Six, Deronda. Shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators, because y'all know they be putting in work. So let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes, 12 Tribes, and then we'll get started.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Kratz. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and now with that all being said, and let's get into this stuff because it is a whole lot. I really wanted to get on here and talk about ICE, but I can't escape the Epstein files. Just like Trump, I can't escape the Epstein files. They're everywhere. There's so many different stories, so many post reports, and so many files that people are digging up, ones that I haven't even found yet. So with that all being said, let's just get into it. We'll still try to get to ICE. Okay, so where do I want to start? First off, I forgot to tell you, well, it's not that I forgot. I really have so many receipts, I can't show them all to you unless I'm going to be on here for a few hours. But I did intend to show you all earlier this information about Mormon's blood, okay, and what a victim what they said was going on with Epstein. Okay, he wanted this person to give him their blood. Now, this all sounds like the guy that owns PayPal. If you all remember some years ago, he was talking about trying to make it legal. He wanted it to be legal for adults to purchase a pint of blood, and he wanted it to be wanted to legalize it to where, well, we can already purchase blood, but he wanted it to be where children could donate the blood for purchase. Okay, they had to be, he wanted them to be like 12 years old. He felt like that was the right age. 12-year-old children should be able to donate pints of blood, and then these pints would cost like $4,000. First thing I was wondering was, why the hell does he want 12-year-olds blood? Okay, I'm sorry, what did he want to do with that blood? Make it all make sense. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, now let's get into it. Now, here's what they say. They say it was a misinterpretation, but trust me, okay, I doubt it. The claim that a PayPal owner wanted a 12-year-old kid's blood is a misinterpretation of reports related to billionaires interested in anti-aging treatments and unrelated sensationalized conspiracy theories. Okay, please. I literally saw him say this, I want to say it was in 2018 or 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I could have sworn I saw a broadcast with him literally saying it out of his mouth. Just to be on the safe side, I'll say alleged, but I think I absolutely saw it. Now, Peter Thiel and anti-aging. Okay, Peter Thiel, a co-founder of PayPal and a prominent venture capitalist, has publicly expressed interest in life extension and longevity research. See, that's what I saw. I knew I saw something where he was talking about this. Now, they say it's a misinterpretation, but I'm going to tell you, when I heard him say what he said, I interpreted to mean that he wanted this blood for some nefarious purpose, because if we need blood transfusions, you can get those for free at the hospital. Well, not free, your insurance will pay for it. But why would you need to go to a facility to purchase pints of blood from 12-year-olds? Okay. Now, reports from various news outlets in the mid to late 2010s detailed his interest in a controversial startup called Ambrosia, which offered transfusions of plasma from young people to older adults. Okay, I knew what I was talking about. A practice known as parabiosis. Now, Thiel never confirmed injecting himself, and the startup was later shut down after the FDA issued a warning about the lack of evidence for the treatment's safety or benefits. These reports have been parodied and distorted over time, leading to rumors of vampirism. Honey, what else is it? If you want the blood from young people to help you stay young, how are you not a vampire? How are you not acting like a vampire? Isn't that what they need blood for? Please make it all make sense. All right, y'all hear this? Okay, my memory serves me very well, okay? I may not forget every little detail, but I remember the most parts. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein's bloodlust. And in this case, he wanted Mormon blood. All nefarious. Hey, Luck, Queen Candy J, beloved. Okay, so let's get into it. A shocking letter mentioning Mormon blood that had to be sent to Epstein every week. Sounds like Mr. Thiel. Still, I wanted more from Jeffrey, and he was often distant and dismissive of me and my feminine charms. One night, as the sun set over Little St. James Island, I stood in the room where Jeffrey had just received a therapeutic massage from one of my daughter's friends. This lady is disgusting herself. She didn't think that was crazy. Anywho, the room was covered in a genius's seed, which was going to waste. I had an inspiration and asked the chef to bring me an extra large turkey baster, and in a beautiful fertility ritual created my youngest daughter, Blank. Y'all hear this? At first, Jeffrey was furious, but I pointed out that by staggering daughters every 8 years, he would always have a supply of ripe girls at his disposal. Do y'all hear this? By staggering daughters every 8 years. So I'm sorry, is this meaning that this man was having people made, or was having children birthed from his own seed for him to do nefarious things to? This is all crazy. Please pay attention. I mean, some of this stuff is just, oh my goodness. All right. All nefarious. Clinton's tried to reach agreement in Epstein testimony before contempt of Congress vote. Okay, thank you, Desmond. Now, I'll get to that in a second. Now, here's the thing. Now, it says at first he was furious. And then I pointed out that by staggering daughters every 8 years, he would always have a supply of right girls at his disposal. He bought me a house at blank, got my oldest daughter into blank by donating $50,000 to her gender studies program and paid for my youngest daughter to attend blank. And all she had to do was send him a pint of Mormon blood every week. Do y'all hear this? See, this is what I'm talking about. You see, this is why I said in the case of R. Kelly, those parents should have gone to jail because these parents will pimp out their kids to people with money to do all sorts of nefarious things to them just so they can enrich themselves. It is shameful. Now, goes on to say, thank you, Jeffrey. You helped so many people and gave me the Italian marble tiles in my kitchen, steam shower, and a ranch of my own to continue the great work. Also, a quick thank you, Ghislaine. By the way, I haven't said anything to the feds yet and won't as long as those UPS money orders keep arriving from Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? So what now? So she was making Epstein still send her money while he was in prison or jail? Anyway, stop by blank for your first free session of dynamic sexuality. Bring a friend or even a dozen. We will make it worth your time. I'm Esther Cohen-Tizer Epstein, and I approve of this message. Did y'all hear that? What do you all have to say about this? This is all some sick stuff. It is absolutely infuriating. And we know nobody's going to pay for it. We know these people are going to get away with what they have done. Let me show you all this picture. Excuse me, guys. Don't mind if I crash out, because I just might. But hold on. Let me show you all this picture also that came across my feed as I was about to get on here. I didn't have time to upload it, so I simply sent it to my email. But look at this. Okay, it says Jeffrey Epstein and current president of the United States, 2003, and a page from Epstein's birthday book that's just been released. Look at it. He looks like Ice himself. First of all, who do they think they were? They both look hideous. It says, finally at the home of our friend, let's call him Mr. Brown. Jeffrey unveiled his plan. To some, it may have seemed a get-rich-quick scheme, but to me, it was pure genius. Rob and kill was the name of the plan. Okay, the first victim, blank, to be attacked and brutally plundered. Would she want more than that? On the boardwalk in Venice Beach, broad daylight, the dastardly thieves were never caught. Postscript, I retired from the life, but I recently read an article in New York which led me to believe that my old friend, Mr. E, had continued on and became an industry leader. Now, do y'all hear this? And I hope you don't think this is a joke. Okay, because I don't. The plan was called Rob and Kill. Who knows what nefariousness these demons and devils were up to? Wow. Let me show you all this other picture of this young lady that Epstein clearly took advantage of. This is a beautiful young lady who went on her first helicopter flight with Jeffrey Epstein. Photo is of Jeffrey Epstein and Tila Davies. It is Tila's first time on a helicopter. They're flying over the U.S. Virgin Islands. She is smiling because she did not yet realize he had a predatory plan for her. This is so sad. Absolutely egregious. Do y'all hear this? Low down, dirty skanks. All of these people just need to be, I'm not even going to say what they need. I'm not even going to say what they need, but you can imagine what I'm thinking. Now, with that all being said, let's go to Nicki Minaj, honey, because she crawled out of the woodwork, okay, to put in her insight today and let the Dems have it, basically saying that anybody who continues to vote for the Democrats are fools. Don't y'all find that interesting? What? She's talking about the Dems when she's a whole MAGA? Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go. Notice the picture. She posted a picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah at age 15 while he's 26 in 1996, and then him and Beyonce in 97 when Beyonce was 16 and he was 27. Okay, Nicki, But at the end of the day, wasn't she once friends with both of them? So don't sit there and try to go in on them now. Okay, even though it is nefarious. But anyway, she says, are y'all understanding? She says, are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. What the hell does she think Trump and the Republicans are doing? If she thinks this is what the Dems are doing, is she serious? Let me continue. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times since I was trying to not say what I know. Yet they continue to attempt bullying. Oh, so she knows some things. I bet you do. Well, please spill the tea. Okay. Also, I won't be releasing an album until my contract is renegotiated, and until I tell you about all the sabotage this Rico is finding out about Billboard. Sabotage. Okay, so do y'all hear this? Somebody posted this and said she's not the one to talk in 2010. Here she is with a 16-year-old. Who is that? Is that Justin Combs? Is that Diddy's son? Please say it ain't so. Is that Justin Combs? Hold on. Hold on for a second. Okay, he was a celebrity. She was his celebrity date for his Sweet 16 birthday party. They didn't date. Okay, she was the appearance was featured on MTV's My Super Sweet 16 season 9, where she attended as a special guest to accompany Justin. I was about to say, honey, how did that skip past me? Okay. Ha! Serves her right though, nonetheless. Okay, let me continue. Now I'm just being messy. Okay, let me stop spreading rumors and lies on here. We already have Trump to do that. Okay, we already have Trump and Wig too to do that. Now let's continue. So with that all being said, let's scroll on down because there's so much nefarious things. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, let's go to this. Now, here's what I will say. I have some Reggie says same implication. Exactly. Okay, I have some footage and things that I want to show you all, but I have to edit those things and I will likely show them to you tomorrow.
They were right. The tinfoil hats were fucking right. Right about the Israel connection, about the compromised politicians, about the pedophile ring. They were right. Allegedly, of course. And they did get the details wrong. Because what did the tinfoil hat guys do? They elected those pedos into fucking office. These people played their hand perfectly. They told them everything they wanted to hear.
We're going to drain the swamp of corruption.
They validated their conspiratorial minds.
They always like to say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Not a conspiracy theory, folks. Millions and millions of people.
And then they built up the cult, a godlike image. Attacking him was blasphemy. They discredited the media, they demonized the opposition, and they gave them an enemy.
The radical left is causing this problem, not the right, the radical left.
And everything that goes against the word of the great leader.
You are fake news.
Every revelation of wrongdoing just confirmed the witch hunt narrative.
That's what we should be talking about, not the Epstein hoax.
So now that the Epstein case finally blows open, nothing. Silence. We're 12 hours in. Look at the front page of the #1 propaganda channel today after 3 million documents went live. Not a word on the biggest pedophile ring in history.
President Trump says that Iran wants to make a deal.
And these constant distractions have the media focusing on everything else.
The commander-in-chief has been weighing new strikes on the Islamic Republic.
So what will it be now? Will it be bombing Iran? Will it be more military in American cities? Will it be the arrest of Obama? Don't let him distract you. Don't let him censor you. Do not stop talking about this. Keep on the pressure, and this might just be his downfall.
This needs to be his downfall. Okay, This absolutely needs to be his downfall. This man has to be impeached. He needs to be put in prison. This is all just too much. At the end of the day, hold on. Let's go to this lady right here, because she was going in and not a word she said was a lie.
The Epstein files reveals that the biggest pedophile ring exposed in the 21st century is headed by powerful white, straight Christian men. And you people are not mad enough. Not Muslims, not black, not brown, not immigrants, not trans, not any of those people they constantly marginalize and tell us to hate. You people are not mad enough. The files show that this was an elite exclusive club led by white men, in which, quite frankly, you have arrived when you get an invite to come to Epstein's Island. You have made it when you get to participate in the sexual molestation, sexual abuse, and rape of sex-trafficked women and young girls, and get away with it with impunity. You people are not mad enough that the headlines are not running with up with their heads, demanding that they be arrested, accountability and justice for the victims. That the headlines are instead inundating us with Trump wants to arrest Obama, Trump wants to bomb Iran. All of these distractions, when the worst thing you could possibly imagine happening to women is happening right under our noses. These men measured the vaginas of young children. What the actual hell? You people are not mad enough. I have to accept that the reason the biggest pedophile ring exposed has not brought down and destroyed the systems that uphold this degeneracy and evil is because these men and all the men that participated in Epstein's pedophile ring are a reflection and an extension of you, including the thousands of people, women like Ghislaine Maxwell, black, brown, and white people that knew what was going on but chose to remain silent and profit off it. You people are not mad enough. Some of you are even saying,
say it again. The 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls that you guys were referring to, they knew exactly what they were doing. Chances are they weren't 13. But if they were, they weren't. But if they were, they knew what they were doing. Just
as disgusting as she is, she's all of you because you can't pretend you didn't know Trump said.
Whatever you want. Grab him by the pussy.
Nor can you pretend you didn't know he said to a 10-year-old.
Going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
You knew. Trump is a perfect example of why the Epstein pedophile ring is a demonstration of white power and the power of the patriarchy. Every allegation against Trump is consistent with his verbal aggression, his history of sexual assault. He was found liable of rape and allegedly raping a 13-year-old without a condom and telling her to get an effing abortion if she got pregnant. These men are a problem, but those of you who excuse their behavior because they're rich white men are the bigger problem.
That's right. And then you have wig number 2 over there right now today. Somebody sent it to me, still doing a video about Jay-Z, trying to make this BS about Jay-Z. Okay, this ain't about Jay-Z. This is about old white men. They're the ones that are leading this stuff. Okay, they're the ones that are leading this stuff. That's been heading this. And I'm not going to say Jay-Z's hands are clean. I don't know. But at the end of the day, how come she's not saying anything about these people? Okay, the president specifically. I find it all interesting. These raccoons have got to be stopped. Okay, now with that all being said, let's continue, because this is all nefarious. Okay, I made a video about Trump too. Let's get into it. His stupid self. Hey everyone, it's Dr. Bl00D. So what I find interesting is the fact that after all of these files have come out and all the information that we have come across so far, Trump wants to sit there and say that he's been absolved. Yeah, that's right. He says that the information that has come out basically clears his name and proves that he didn't do anything nefarious. Let's get into it. I mean, it clearly sounds as though he's drank a cup of his own Kool-Aid. Okay, please pay attention. And here he is with the lovely Ghislaine Maxwell. No wonder she said that she can't remember a single thing, that she's never witnessed anything that Trump has ever done wrong or inappropriate. We all know that's clearly not the truth, don't we? Okay, allegedly, of course. As per usual, he's gaslighting us, okay? At the end of the day, why would he think that he's been absolved after all the nefarious details that we've read about him? Okay, let's not talk about Alexis, the one that said she was 13 or 14 when she had to get down on bended knee, and when she mistakenly bit him, she was punched in the face. Or the 16-year-old who left her diary and she wrote in there about how Ivana must not know that she has no dignity left after being with Trump, and that she herself had been with Trump on several occasions and she had no dignity left. All she had was Skittles. But But also, let's not forget the online complainant reported that she was a victim and witnessed an trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verde, California, between 1995 and 1996. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for the S parties. Okay, clients of whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald J. Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies, okay, and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been red-rummed, okay, deleted, and burned or buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on there or whom she saw, she would end up as fertilizer for the back nine hoes, just like the other butts with a C. Okay, please pay attention. Complainant claims to have a video of high-profile S parties, dealings with cartels, and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to deletion at a party. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. And the names listed in that exchange were Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Robin Leach, and the Sinaloa cartel, the most nefarious cartel in all the land, so they say. Okay, please pay attention. If these allegations are true, this is all nefarious because that would mean that our president of the United States is a whole PDF file, okay? And that also he could possibly be someone who takes people out of here and sends them to the spiritual realm. Please pay attention. Also, they talked about the Sinaloa cartel, which is interesting because we all know that Trump said that he was trying to stop the smuggling of rugs and that he was talking about these cartels and all of that. Now to find out that he's been accused and alleged of having had dealings and being friendly with the Sinaloa cartel, okay, I find that all interesting. At the end of the day, he's anything but absolved, okay, from all of this information. Please pay attention. I was going to suggest that they get the FBI to go and dig up that golf course to see whatever they can find. But then I remembered, sadly, they all work for Trump and kiss his butt on a regular basis. So there's that. Well, nefarious. Now, Shibu says, oh, wow, I'm just hearing some of these things, all of these things. Well, you see, I know that there are so many files that there's no way we can play all of these things or have all this information in one or two lives. So, and some people are going to be in the live and not in the next. And so I will be repetitive sometimes. I may show clips of some of the things or summaries or whatever. Okay, now with that all being said, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Where do we want to go? Let's go right here. Okay. No, I'm gonna skip that. He's talking about Tulsi Gabbard. We'll go to her next when we start talking about ICE. Now listen to this. Breaking. The Epstein files redacted photo shows two pieces of chicken with what looks exactly like a tiny baby's leg, foot in the middle. Why redact plain chicken? Because it wasn't no damn chicken. Okay, that's why it wasn't any chicken. And here's the thing. There was chicken in Hillary's emails. I want you all to pay attention. And tomorrow I'm going to play the footage because like I said, I have to edit some of this stuff. I can't just be playing it on here willy-nilly. But yeah, it was all up and through her emails. And that's why I keep telling you all that the stuff that we're finding out in these emails or these files are very reminiscent of the things that were in Hillary's emails. Okay. And Trump was talking all the trash about those emails, if you remember, during the 2016 election.
Check this out. One image in the Epstein files list contains an image that shows two chickens, and in the middle is something that's been redacted. But if you look closely, it really looks like a baby's leg. If it's just another chicken, why block it out? That's my point. And you can see the full leg right there. And people, yes, remember when Hillary Clinton's emails came out when she was joking about sacrificing chickens to Moloch? Who's that? Too many coincidences are here. These people at the top are all corrupt. We've got to make a change. We need to go to the top and be better. Crossing borders does not excuse responsibility. Arrest her. Check this out. One image in the Epstein files list contains an image that shows...
Sorry, beloveds, I was on a phone call. Now, with that all being said, let's go to this next one. Now, this one, what is this here? Okay, this is Jim Caviezel. He's talking about that A word that ends in crow. Okay, I'm going to skip past that for now until I watch it myself to see if it's appropriate to show on here. Okay, here we go. The entire Trump crime family needs to be arrested. Let's get into it. Here we go.
We have some major news right now. A massive corruption scheme has been exposed regarding the Trump family and a royal family from the United Arab Emirates. Here's what you need to know about right now. The Wall Street Journal has revealed that a secret deal was cut between the Trump family, Eric Trump, his son, and others in the family just 4 days before Donald Trump's inauguration, in which a royal family from a, quote, spy sheik.
Hold on. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just take that off the screen. I didn't mean to leave X altogether. But I was clicking off of his video because we already heard that. I read it to you all this morning. Okay, about Trump's grift. Him and his family making all this money over billions of dollars at the taxpayers' expense. Okay? And now, with that all being said, let's go to this right here. They say this is huge. The individual who anonymously posted a 4chan the morning of Epstein's death, August 10th of 2019, claimed he witnessed weird things happening or weird happenings at the prison before Epstein's death, and he's been identified in the Epstein files. Roberto Grijalva, an officer at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, has been identified as the anonymous prison employee who posted on 4chan claiming Epstein left his cell Friday evening shackled in a medical wheelchair, while at the same time an unauthorized trip van arrived at the prison, which he believes took Epstein away for the night before the news broke of his death. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? I'm sorry, what? Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? So you mean to tell me he was whisked away in the middle of the night, just like I said earlier? Wow. Let's continue because this is all nefarious. I had not read this, but anything that I saw with documents on it, I sent it to I reposted it on X. So this is all nefarious, but let me continue. So goes on to say, hold on. Okay, so it says that while at the same time, an unauthorized trip van arrived at the prison, which he believes took Epstein away the night before news broke of his death. So is he even dead? Probably not. The day after Epstein's death, U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman of the SDNY, Southern District of New York, opened a grand jury proceeding and subpoenaed 4chan, Apple, AT&T, and Citibank for records aiming to uncover Grijalva's identity following the anonymous 4chan post. Now, why did they want this man's identity so badly? Was it so that they could find out about Epstein, get more details, or so they could try to do something nefarious to keep him from talking? Grijalva's name is not redacted on his bank records included in the Southern District of New York subpoena response from Citibank for his 4chan post, and ties to the same prison officer, Roberto Grijalva, whose statements were released as part of the prison's investigation into Epstein's death. This is huge. We now have validation. The 4chan post from August 10th, 2019 is a legitimate witness account from the MCC prison officer, from an MCC prison officer that Epstein may have been switched out before news broke of his alleged self-deletion. I'll just be damned. Do y'all hear this? So you mean to tell me none of these mother suckers are getting any consequences? Except Ghislaine, and she's not even really getting anything serious because she's at Club Fed right about now, thanks to Trump and Todd Blanche. These people are something else. These people are absolutely something else. Also, I forgot to acknowledge when I got in here, I forgot to acknowledge DSB. Okay, became a YouTube member. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, and this is your other membership, clearly, because you have another membership where you have been a member for 17 months. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. I also appreciate all the memberships you've purchased for other people. Now, with that all being said, are y'all hearing this? You know, I'm going to tell you something. Do y'all remember me showing you an AI video of Jeffrey Epstein being whisked away in the dark of night from the prison, taken out to an SUV that was black, and then driven down an alley to freedom? Do y'all remember that? And I said, that's probably exactly how it happened. Missing seconds of footage and all of that. We should have absolutely known. But once I found out for certain that he was Mossad, because that had always been rumors. Okay, that had always been a rumor. But now that we know, because it's all in the files, well, at the end of the day, I figured there's no way that somebody came in there and took him out. With those type of connections, they probably let him out of there. Opened up the gates and let him walk out. Let's continue. Now, this is clearly the post, I think. Not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me. But last night after 4:15 count, they took him medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. So he's going to triage in a wheelchair, but not a nurse spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I am shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. Ooh, honey, this is all so darn nefarious. Do y'all hear this? This is a hot mess. I am so mad right about now. Now, at the bottom, it says, not saying anything after this. Please don't dox me. Okay, that's the part where they got his information from. Okay, now what is this? This is where they got his name, Roberto Grijalva. Date signed February 22nd of 2012. This is all crazy. On Friday, August 19th of 2019 at approximately 1:50 p.m., okay, ISOS Grijalva passed on to oncoming staff member Officer Davis and present shift staff SOS Shakir and Officer Joyner that inmate Reyes, and there's the inmate number, was going WAB and possibly may not return. Also, that inmate Epstein, number whatever, will be needing a cellmate upon arrival from his attorney visit. Y'all hear this? Wow. So that's how they verified that he was one of the people that was guarding Epstein, I guess. This is all so darn crazy. Oh my goodness. Can y'all believe it? Can y'all believe it? Let me make sure I'm not leaving anything out. And Hillary Clinton's low down self talking about she's sacrificing a chicken in the backyard. We know what she was really talking about if we're smart, and we are. Okay? Madonna talking about she could kill for a bowl of pasta. Oh, I bet she could. I want you all to pay attention. Listen, I want you all to really pay attention, because here is the thing. Okay, She Built Journal says, I was calling you Shabu earlier, sorry. She Built Journal says, wow, is right, Queen. Exactly. Okay, it's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. But here's what I want you all to pay attention to. Whenever they are talking about, taking the lives of children, deleting children, and those things, these people use the coded messaging and they make it about food, but they always use a word that pertains to death. Are y'all listening? They will talk about food, but when they speak about food, they use language that pertains to death. Madonna said in a bathtub on her Instagram account one day, this was a few years ago, as she sat in the tub, like we need to see her taking a bath, but she sat there and said, oh, I could just kill for a bowl of pasta, or at least that was the caption on her post of her in the tub. Kill for a bowl of pasta. Hillary Clinton said she was going to go out to the backyard and sacrifice a chicken. Who says that? Who says that? And in her emails, I've told you all that it continuously said something about walnut sauce. And walnut sauce is made from that word that starts with an A and ends in chrome. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. This is all egregious. Now, this one says, it's dated Saturday, June the 22nd of 2013, from Jeffrey Epstein. Says, Trump will be there. Doesn't like black girls. Calls them boogers. Won't go within 10 feet. I know he did. Do y'all hear it? Orange man, as ugly as he is with those cankles, okay, and that turkey neck, had the nerve to call us boogers. I know he did. Nicki Minaj, how do you feel about that? Your stupid self. Okay, anyway, goes on to say, when we come up next month, I'm thinking about bringing blank and blank with us. They're up for anything. You'll love them. Huh. You hear how they're talking about these people they're going to bring? Now, I don't know who this was from, but it was to Epstein. Why do they redact these people's names? They are protecting these people. They're not supposed to be redacting anything except the names of victims. But they don't redact all the names of the victims. And how do we know that? Well, here's why. Because here's a victim right here, Tila Davies. And there were victims weeks ago saying that their names were accidentally leaked in these files. But you mean to tell me they're going to redact the names of the people sending the emails when they're saying certain things? I want you all to pay attention. Just like that person who said they enjoyed or they loved the torture video. Freaks. These people are sitting here defending them, taking up for them, just trying to sweep it under a rug. We're never going to get any justice for any of the victims, sadly. Now, if any of what is in the new batch of 3.5 million dropped documents is real and true, then that means that the current president of the United States is a serial killer. Everybody needs to go read them now, he says. Let's hear what he's talking about.
So I'm going to make this short so everybody has to hear this and share it and keep fucking talking about it. In this recent release of the millions of files, the MAGA have been told that Dumpy is in them 0 times. They've been told that by pundits and podcasters. That just means they haven't bothered to look at them. They haven't bothered to read them. This is even worse than we thought. In these files, there are dozens of cases of sworn testimony, witness testimony, and sworn affidavits alleging some very horrible things. Pause to read this. This was released from the DOJ itself. If these things are true in any way, shape, or form, this means, ladies and gentlemen, that the sitting president of the United States is a fucking serial killer. And I do not make that statement lightly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had myself muted and didn't even realize it. But do you all hear what this man said? And I was thinking, this was some new information. I actually already read this to you all a couple of days ago. So with that all been said, yeah, he just might be. And I think that people need to go and try to find out what in the world is going on at that nefarious golf course. Okay, at that nefarious golf course at the end of the day. And let me just pull this up real quick. Hold on, beloved. Let me give you all some smooth jazz sounds to listen to while I pull up this receipt real quick.
Lights shining down in the moonlight, girl, can't help but feel this connection flow with every move. Too long floor where you smile makes me want more. Heartbeat and sing at the sound of soul. Tonight we dance, just lose control. I can't resist the way you move. It's been a bliss. Your power is easy. Like the stars above, this night is ours. Wrapped in our love, the bandits play. Our melody sweet, can't help but feel the rhythm.
Okay, now with that all being said, this is all crazy. Thank you, Barillas Loon, for your contribution to the channel, beloved, and your insight into the topic. It says Trump was practicing social distancing. Okay? Low down dirty devil. That's what he is. Now, here's the thing. I think they need to go and start digging at that golf course like people are saying. Because that girl said that Trump's security told her that if she told what she saw or who was there, if she told what she saw or who she saw, she'd become one of the 9 hoes, like the rest of the CUNTSs. Okay? I have several questions. This is all crazy. And then another thing too, when Hillary said she was going to sacrifice that chicken in her backyard, she said to Moloch. Now, for those of you that have been following me, you know that I did a very thorough video about Moloch, okay? Whom people sacrifice their children to, literally burning children alive, putting them inside of that darn thing. Also sick and disgusting. But anyway, now let's talk about ICE. Okay, we'll get into some more receipts from this stuff. Oh, here's one thing I wanted to show you all too. I almost forgot. Let's talk about Tyler Chase. Because see, some of this stuff that's going on with this Epstein files, the things we're finding out, specifically as it pertains to these young people, at the end of the day, this is what happens to these children when they go off to Hollywood and they start acting crazy years later after they're adults. They're on illegal substances, they're alcoholics, they're out here robbing and stealing, they're homeless. This is why. This is childhood trauma from the heinous things that are happening to them. Let's take a look at Tyler Chase. Bless his heart. Whoever took this video should be ashamed of themselves. It was obvious to me that he did not want to be recorded because he didn't want to be seen like that.
Did you play on Disney Channel?
Nickelodeon.
Oh, Nickelodeon. What show is it again?
Nancy Classified Schools about.
Oh yeah, you were that kid on it, huh? Yeah. I remember you. Yeah.
Absolutely so sad. Okay, that poor child. Well, he's grown now, but I'm just saying he was a child at the time when nefarious things likely happened to him. Okay, now he's homeless. He was on Nickelodeon. Now, I already did a thorough breakdown on Nickelodeon and their shenanigans when they got exposed. Okay, so anyway, but here's a clip from Epstein's Island that my friend who's now deceased, Isaac Cappy, may he rest in peace. I'm going to play you some of his videos tomorrow, but I have to edit them. But before he passed away, he leaked some videos, and this is one of them. I see that it has resurfaced. Okay, that's supposedly at Epstein Island. Okay, please pay attention. It's all crazy.
They refer to their offspring in their publications as their children, their offspring. They refer to your offspring as kids. You have kids because you're just like a goat. Sheeple. You're sheeple.
We are being led like sheep to the slaughter. I don't know if you've ever seen sheep go to the slaughter, but they are generally led by a Judas goat. The Judas goat will bring them all the way up the ramp, and right before they drop the trap on the sheep, the Judas goat steps to the side.
When you understand that Europe dominated the world for almost 1,600 years, and the Vatican dominated Europe. The Vatican dominated the old world order. Those banking families that were the Roman Catholic banking families of Europe were the powers of the world. They dominated the world. With the coming of America, America becomes known as the New World. Remember Columbus discovering the New World. When we hear the word New World Order, we're talking about a fraternal order of power, religion, money, operating out of the New World, America.
But a satanic, occultic, evil form of power. The big picture, they want it all. They want to enslave your child, your wife, your mother. There isn't anything that you ever had. There isn't anything that you own. There isn't any right that you possess that they're not planning on taking away.
Okay, you all heard that? Absolutely egregious. Okay? Oh, with that all being said, let's continue. Okay, so before we get started, listen, we're going to talk about ICE and the nefarious things they have going on. I'm not going to be on here all night, so we're going to go for about 30 more minutes. Okay, and then I'm going to have to run because I have to be up early. So with that all being said, I want to show you all this fake video. This is absolutely AI. And people have got to start realizing when a video is AI and when it isn't. because they're going around. There was a Somalian woman on TikTok so happy and ecstatic saying, oh, the black people are being arrested and detained by ICE. They're being kidnapped by ICE. And she was smiling like she wanted to laugh. Girl, sit down. We're not going anywhere. Okay. And some of these videos about black people being kidnapped by ICE or being harassed by ICE are absolutely AI. These people are so damn jealous of us. It's ridiculous. Please pay attention.
Sir, I need to see your papers right now.
Papers? I'm buying a drink. What's this about?
Identification, immigration status. Let's go.
I'm a police captain. Badge is right here.
Step back from your waist.
See? Gold Shield Department ID, Captain Marcus Reeves, Metro PD.
That doesn't mean anything to me. It could be fake. You need to produce immigration documents. Call my precinct.
Two ICE agents, Derek Hoffman and Luis Vega, approached a black man in civilian clothes at 3:47 p.m., their body cameras capturing Hoffman's opening line, "Where are you from and you have documentation?" The man stayed calm as Vega moved his hand toward his weapon. What they didn't know was that they were illegally detaining Captain Michael Torres, a decorated police officer whose federal lawsuit would cost the government $12.4 million and expose a pattern of racial profiling that ended both their careers. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you are watching from, and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. Michael Torres pulled into the Sunoco station on Route 9 at 3:45 p.m. Gray hoodie, jeans, day off. He walked into the convenience store, grabbed an energy drink, paid cash, and headed back to his car. That's when the two ICE agents blocked his path. The body cam footage shows it clearly. Hoffman stepped directly in front of Torres, while Vega moved to cut off his car door. "Where are you from and you have documentation?" Hoffman demanded. Torres stopped. "Excuse me? I need to see your identification." Hoffman's hand drifted toward his belt. Around them, other customers walked freely. White, Asian, Hispanic. Nobody else was being stopped. Torres kept his hands visible. "What's the reason for the stop?" Vega's palm rested on his holster now. "Immigration compliance operation. Papers, now." The body cam timestamp, 3:48 p.m. Torres stayed calm. "I'm a U.S. citizen. You have no legal authority to detain me without reasonable suspicion." Hoffman moved closer. "You fit a description. We can do this easy or we can do this hard." "What description?" Hoffman glanced at Vega. The body cam caught it, that split-second look that said there was no description. They had profiled him for one reason, his skin color. "Turn around, hands on the vehicle," Hoffman ordered. "I'm Captain Michael Torres, Metro Police Department. You're violating my Fourth Amendment rights." Vega's face went pale on camera, but Hoffman doubled down. "I don't care who you say you are. Hands on the car, now." A woman pumping gas 3 spots over pulled out her phone and started recording. Her name was Janet Crawley, and her footage would later corroborate everything. Torres placed his hands on his hood. 15 years as a cop, 3 years as captain of downtown precinct, 17 commendations. None of it mattered in this moment. Hoffman patted him down while Vega yanked.
Okay, now with that all being said, I'm sorry. I know that was a whole fake video. The only reason I was showing you all that for so long, I meant to just show you a few seconds, but I got caught up finding receipts. So I let you all watch it. But that was such AI. Okay, that was nothing but AI. At the end of the day, people really need to stop falling for the BS. Okay, and there's another AI video that I saw. Hold on. There's another AI video that I saw, and it was supposed to be a black woman. Hold on. Anyway, I'll have to show y'all that another time. But here's the thing. They even made an AI video of a content creator that I always watch. Okay, and I'm pretty sure this is AI too. It looks like there's no life in his eyes, and he mispronounces a word that I'm sure he can pronounce. Okay, this is AI. They're making AI of content creators. This is getting real dangerous. Okay, I want you all to pay attention.
So you are telling me Rob Reiner
Now, you all know that I've shown you this man's videos before. Okay, please pay attention and tell me if this doesn't look fake to you.
was working on a huge expose on Trump, and then he ends up dead. And Trump not only celebrates his death, but puts it on display, saying, "This is what happened to you if you go against me." So you are telling me Rob Reiner was working on a huge expose on Trump, and then he ends.
Okay, first of all, it's not exposed, it's expose. But I've not heard anything else about that. Okay, I've not heard anyone say that. I looked it up, didn't see it. And at the end of the day, that clearly was, like I said, AI. Expose. Okay, not expose. All right, so anyway, with that all been said, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now let's go to this video here, where Trump's trying to deny. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm still finding his face isn't natural. Right. And the eyes are definitely not. And one box says the way he's speaking is robotic. Exactly. That's how y'all can tell. There's other ways you can tell too. Okay. Sometimes you just through discernment. Okay. Those of us with discernment, we can tell. Now, here's the thing. This is another video about Trump and Epstein. Okay. So let's get into it.
To watch Caroline try and explain this one away later this week. Not only wasn't I friendly with Jeffrey Epstein, but based upon information that has just been released by the Department of Justice, Epstein and a sleazebag lying author named Michael Wolff conspired in order to damage me and or my presidency. We'll stop there. I've read pretty much every book Michael Wolff has written, and although I understand that in the political sphere he does get a lot of heat because he doesn't directly name sources very often, he is talking about things that are intimately occurring within the administration and within Fox News, for example. So he doesn't necessarily have the ability to name sources because there are people who have very high-level insider information that can't have their name published in a book. So I see why he gets the hate, but I think that his books are generally pretty accurate. So much for the radical left's hope against hope, some of whom I'll be suing. Additionally, unlike so many people that like to talk trash, I never went to the infested Epstein Island, but almost all of these crooked Democrats and their donors did. Quick question, is he just saying that every Democrat who opposes his ideology also went to the Epstein Island just based on the fact that they oppose his ideology? I don't think that justice should be served based on your political leanings. I think that no one is above the law. And I think that the Donald Trump administration continues to not release the Epstein files in full as they were supposed to, and continues to not give it reasons for the redactions that they do. So I think that Donald Trump, on the basis of the fact that the Epstein files are not being released, or at a minimum, Pam Bondi should at least be impeached over this. But then again, they would be impeaching themselves. So they're not going to do that. And we're just never going to see the Epstein files. So I will say it again today, even though I said it just 2 weeks ago when they were a month late on releasing the entire things against the law, release the fucking Epstein files.
Okay. Well, they've released them, but nothing's going to be done, sadly. Okay, now let's continue. Now, this is that video from where Epstein, this guy's talking about Epstein when he was chasing those girls around the kitchen. Okay, for those of you who missed it.
Beyond creepy. Watch. This is beyond creepy. Watch.
Now, just look at how little these children are. That's the thing. And also that picture where they tried to make us think it was a darn chicken. Okay, that was clearly a child's leg. Are y'all paying attention? And then Megyn Kelly, okay, or was it Laura Ingraham? I get those two devils mixed up. I think it was Megyn Kelly, who said that the girls that Epstein was dealing with were like 14 and 15 years old. As if that makes it okay. She's sick in the head. But you see, she's the kind of woman who would be arrested for doing something inappropriate with a teen. Okay, because isn't she the typical type that we see, these blonde Karens? Okay, especially when they're teachers at schools. Okay, now let's go to the next clip. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Talking about 14 and 15, like that's just, you know, consenting, an age of consent.
Bank account called Ball, which was the ancient Canaanite deity. Jeffrey Epstein had a side bank account called Ball, which was the ancient Canaanite deity that people sacrificed their children to. One of the victims' diaries also said she was impregnated multiple times and forced to give birth for Epstein and Ghislaine. But my question is, what did they do with the births? Jeffrey Epstein had a side...
Exactly what I told you they did. Okay, sacrificed. Okay, that's what it was. I'm willing to bet money on it. These people are so damn sick. Okay, so now with that all been said, let's talk about what's going on with Trump and ICE. Okay, let's go to it. Let's go to the ICE BS. Okay, somebody sent me something saying Beyonce files for divorce from Jay-Z. Okay, I have to look into that. Not that I really care. Okay, so let's get into it. Here we go. Oh, and another thing I forgot to tell you. Hold on, I'm sorry. I just can't escape this Epstein stuff. Okay, so another thing I forgot to tell you all was Ryan Garcia. Okay, this is what he had to say. If anyone cares, he said, "This is my public declaration and announcement. I'm reclining my past support for Donald Trump." I think he meant recanting, not reclining. "Anyone that was involved in anything to do with that island and what they were doing, I just can't support in any way. Children need to be protected. Everyone knew better. F that. Justice for all." Isn't he the same young man? And of course he is. I don't know why I'm asking, but if you all remember, there was about a year or two ago when he said that he was kidnapped and taken out into the woods and made to watch people do nefarious things to children. Okay, I did a Rumble video about it. Do you all remember that? And people tried to say he was crazy. I don't know if he's crazy or not, but he sure said it. Okay, that's what he said. So anyway, let's continue.
That he will hold Pam Bondi in contempt of Congress over the failures to release the Epstein files in violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, along with a subpoena that had been issued by Congress to the Department of Justice. I spoke with Congressman Garcia, who's the leading Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. He says that they already tried to hold her in contempt via a resolution, but every Republican in the committee voted it down. But he did commit 100% to holding her in contempt if Democrats were to take back the House in November, and we're still in the same position, although he says contempt should happen sooner rather than later. So there are efforts on Capitol Hill to at least hold the Justice Department accountable. In the meantime, he says that their investigation remains ongoing, that they're going to get more documents from the Epstein estate and elsewhere. So we'll see what happens next. They're working on subpoenaing other witnesses. I'll provide you more updates.
Okay. So also with that all being said, that reminds me that Desmond sent me the information about the Clintons. Okay, let me pull that up real quick because I almost forgot about that. Okay, now here's what they say. Clintons agreed to testify in House Epstein investigation before contempt of Congress. Okay, so former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton agreed late Monday to testify in a House investigation into convicted ex-offender Jeffrey Epstein. But the Republican leading the probe said an agreement has not yet been finalized. Representative James Comer, the chair of the House Oversight Committee, was advancing criminal contempt of Congress, these charges against both of the Clintons, okay, Monday evening for defying a congressional subpoena when attorneys for the Clintons emailed staff for the oversight panel saying the pair would accept Comer's demands and will appear for depositions on mutually agreeable dates. Now, the attorneys requested that Comer agree not to move forward with the contempt proceedings. Comer, however, said that he was not immediately dropping the charges, which would carry the threat of a substantial fine and even incarceration if passed by the House and successfully prosecuted by the Department of Justice. And you know Trump would love to send them to jail. Okay, we don't have anything in writing, Comer said. This is what he told reporters, adding that he was open to accepting the Clintons' offer, but it depends on what they say. Now, I want you all to pay attention. He's open to accepting their offer, but it depends on what they say. Do y'all hear this? It depends on what they say. What if they say the wrong thing? Then no consequences? So anyway, goes on to say, hold on. He was insisting that both Clintons sit for sworn depositions before the committee in order to fulfill the panel's subpoenas. A letter from the committee to attorneys for the Clintons indicate that they had offered for Bill Clinton to conduct a 4-hour transcribed interview on matters related to the investigations and prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein, and for Hillary Clinton to submit a sworn declaration. Now, the Clintons do not get to dictate the terms of lawful subpoenas. This is what Comer says. The former president and secretary of state had resisted the subpoenas for months after the oversight panel issued subpoenas for their testimony in August, as it opened an investigation into Epstein and his associates. Now, their attorney had tried to argue against the validity of the subpoena. However, as Comer threatened to begin contempt of Congress proceedings, the Clintons started negotiating towards a compromise. Now, the Republican-controlled Oversight Committee advanced criminal contempt charges of Congress last month. They say 9 of the committee's 21 Democrats joined Republicans in support of the charges against Bill Clinton as they argued for full transparency in the Epstein investigation. Now, 3 Democrats also supported advancing the charges against Hillary. Bill Clinton's relationship with Epstein has reemerged as a focal point for Republicans amid the push for a reckoning over Epstein, who deleted himself in 2019. Yeah, right. Okay. Now, Clinton, like a bevy of other high-powered men, had a well-documented relationship with Epstein in the late 1990s and early 2000s. He has not been accused of wrongdoing in his interactions with the late financier. Now, the Clintons remained highly critical of Comer's decision, saying he was bringing politics into the investigation while failing to hold the Trump administration accountable for delays in producing the Department of Justice's case files on Epstein, saying they negotiated in good faith. You did not. A spokesperson for the Clintons, Angel Urena, said in response to Comer's threats on Monday, they told you under oath what they know, but you don't care. Still, the prospect of a vote raised the potential for Congress to use one of its most severe punishments, against the former president for the first time. Historically, Congress has given deference to former presidents. None has ever been forced to testify before lawmakers, although a few have voluntarily done so. Now, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said earlier Monday that his caucus would have a discussion on the contempt resolutions later in the week, but remained non-committal on whipping votes against him. Jeffries said that he was a hard no on contempt and accused Comer of focusing on political retribution rather than investigating the delayed release of case files. Now, Democrats also say the Justice Department has not yet released all the material that it has on the late financier. It says they don't want a serious interview. They want a charade. That's what Jeffrey says. And I believe it. I absolutely believe it. These people are playing games. Okay, this is what they're doing. Now, let's go to this story about ICE. There was a shooting that we obviously didn't hear about that happened in August, at the hands of ICE.
Shooting that happened that nobody is talking about. This is the attempted murder of Francisco Longoria. It is the most insane shit. I'm just going to let it play.
It involved a guy named Francisco Longoria who was driving his pickup truck through a majority Hispanic neighborhood when he was pulled over by Border Patrol agents. They then smashed the driver's side window.
Hey, you can't do that!
And at that point, Longoria drove away. As he was driving away, federal agents fired their gun multiple times at the passenger side of his vehicle where his teenage son was sitting.
It's literally DHS policy that if somebody is fleeing and doesn't pose a threat to somebody else, you are not allowed to use deadly force. But when DHS gave their statement on it, they said the driver hit those 2 officers. They claimed that the officers were acting in self-defense. A bold-faced fucking lie. But this event happened in August. Who knows how long they've been doing this shit? Who knows how many more times this has fucking happened? This administration will fucking kill you and lie. We have no idea how many other times this has fucking happened. And this happened all the way in California. We see this administration constantly lying about encounters with DHS agents. First, we have the leaked ICE memo that says that they can just go into people's homes illegally without a judicial warrant. And now we have a pattern of ICE members just executing people or attempting to do it and then blatantly lying. This is not by accident. This is in a memo somewhere. ICE members will fucking kill you and then say that you are a domestic terrorist. And we have no idea how many times they've lied about circumstances just like this. Share this video. People need to know this. I'm officially.
Okay, so I want you all to pay attention because this is what they're doing and this is what it is. So if you know that this is what they're doing and you know this is what it is, or at least this is what it's looking like, you better have your head on the swivel. Okay? You better have your head on the swivel because these people are out here taking people out. All right? Before I let anybody take me out, it's going to be a rumble in the jungle. All right, please pay attention. And I'm not making threats. I'm just talking facts because everybody has a right to defend themselves, period. Okay, now with that all being said, oh, God, I can't escape this. Throwback clip resurfaces when Donald Trump and Bill Clinton were friends. The clip is AI, but the photos are real. Okay, let's see what photos they're showing. Let's go to this so I can see what photos they're talking about. If I see one more thing pop up, I just happened to see this on X. And I was going on there to show you all something else. Hold on. Well, we were friends, didn't we? Because in fact, Trump was once a Democrat, this low down self. He was once a whole Democrat. Now, with that all being said, let's continue because I want to show you all this video of this woman was at home minding her own business when ICE showed up, demanding that they be allowed entrance. Oh, hold on. I forgot to tell you all this. See, it's so many receipts, I just can't keep up. Okay, this is something about Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein that came out in the files. Now pay attention because this is from March the 20th of 2015. It says, pay attention, this is all about the jab, okay? It says, look, it says World Health Organization. All right, it says, please find attached a draft agenda for the meeting on preparing for pandemics as requested. Let's discuss next steps, for example, how to officially involve the WHO and the ICRC, i.e. co-branding. He says, best regards, and I hope we can pull this off. What were they trying to pull off? Okay, I have several questions. For those of you who took that jab, may the Most High continue to bless you. Okay?
For the next 4 years.
Now let's go to this video.
And they remember how when Donald Trump took office, all these right-wing news outlets are like, he's refusing his salary as president for the next 4 years. And they like love that. Like, oh, look how selfless he is. He just wants to make America great. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about the 400K or so a year. He didn't care about that. That's not why he's doing it. And this is still a thing that MAGA loves to talk about. I did a quick search on Twitter and literally found this post made today where they're still saying, like, my president donates his salary. He's so selfless. Is he now? Is he? I want to show you a little breakdown of what Trump has done to make himself money over the past year because, you know, knowledge is power. I have a visual aid that's going to help with this. I'm going to show you some animations, and I want you to understand going in that each little stack of money that you see fall in these animations represent the median household income of the United States, the average of $83,730. So each time you see a clump fall, it represents $83,730. Let's kick this off. The Trumps have made at least $23 million from licensing Mr. Trump's name overseas since his reelection. This is just licensing overseas, having nothing to do with licensing in America. Next up, the Trumps are pocketing $28 million from Amazon for a documentary about Melania Trump. $28 million. And let's do a quick sidebar here. That's out of $75 million that they spent in total. It's like $48 million for acquisition and the rest for promotion. And despite all that money being spent, it sold exactly one ticket for the London premiere. One. This is the most expensive documentary ever made. And that money makes no sense unless this was a way to give someone a bunch of money in a laundered fashion that you don't ask questions about. But let's get back to the count. Major tech companies and media companies have paid Mr. Trump $90.5 million in settlements since his reelection. Settlements for lawsuits that he filed against them. Next, Qatar gave Mr. Trump a $400 million jet that he will use as Air Force One while president, and then plans to take with him after leaving office. But so far, that's all been chump change because the Trumps have made at least $867 million through various cryptocurrencies. Remember, he pardoned that guy who was part of a whole crypto deal. They have that little crypto thing of their own. All these dots, remember how much money they represent? Just piling up, adding up to $1.4 billion. All told, Mr. Trump has profited from his return to the presidency by an amount of money equal to 16,822 times the median U.S. household income. Take $83,730 and multiply it by 16,822, and you arrive with this. And I got to tell you, there are those who say this number is conservative, that he's actually made somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 billion. In closing, the demands of avarice gradually corrupt the work of government as officials facilitate the accumulation of personal wealth. Worse, such a government corrupts the people who live under its rule. They learn by experience that they live in a society where the laws are written by the highest bidder.
Okay, no lies detected. This is absolutely nefarious. This devil is making all of this cash being a whole pervert. Okay, I want y'all to think about that. That's how you know this country is that's how you know this country is an SHIT hole. Okay, exactly what Trump was saying about other countries. This is what this country is. Because how in the hell did we get this man in the Oval Office? At the end of the day. Hold on, beloveds. I'm looking for this video where this woman was in her home. Okay, listen. They got some stuff about Clarence Thomas, you all, saying that he did something nefarious to a 4-year-old child. I want y'all to pay attention. Now are y'all starting to see how certain people get picked for the Supreme Court? Okay? And how certain people are, in politics for so long? Please pay attention. We'll talk more about these things tomorrow. I can't keep getting into this Epstein stuff. I've got to get this other information out. Okay? Hold on. When does it even end? Hold on. Darn it. Let me go to this video of Kash Patel. Okay, this says the moment Kash Patel finishes reading the papers, his entire demeanor shifts instantly. Then he makes 2 secret hand signals to someone off camera. Why would the FBI director need to do that? Well, I don't know. Let's see what we can figure out. Y'all to pay attention because what in the world did he just read? What in the world did he just read? Okay, I'm going to look for that video later. Right now, I want to keep going. We're going to go to another clip about the nefarious goings on of ICE. But what do you all think that he was reading? Had to be something nefarious. And then he sat there and was messing with his ear twice, maybe 2 or 3 times. Definitely signaling someone. Okay, Reggie said like an umpire. Exactly. And then songwriter Sonny said, you don't divorce a billionaire for nothing else but something the world wouldn't forgive you for forgiving. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree, beloved. Okay, now Lisa Jackson says, I think many of those politicians are going to force themselves into a dirt nap from the shame. Beloved, I'm sorry. I don't think they have any shame. I don't think they have any shame at the end of the day. Okay, I just don't think so. Because think about it, they all have been doing these things together amongst multiple people. Some people that we don't even know about. They were at parties having orgies and all sorts of things. Allegedly. With that all being said, I don't think these people have a bit of shame, beloved. I wish they did. Maybe they would have done some of the things they've done, but sadly, I don't think they have a bit of shame. Thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. All crazy. Hold on. ICE stuff. I have to show you all this. I have to show you all this because what's his name? Senator Tillis. Senator Tillis. When I tell y'all he had a mic drop moment on Trump, I got to show y'all this because I thought it was hilarious.
The president called you a loser, I believe. I am thrilled about that. That makes me qualified to be Homeland Security Secretary and Senior Advisor to the President.
Yikes.
Okay. Now I don't like that man, but what he said was funny. And who does Trump think he is to call somebody else a damn loser? Okay, please make it all make sense. Now, so let's get into this ICE thing. I want to show you all a video from where this woman was on her way somewhere and she got pulled over. Okay, and they were basically harassing her. So let's get into it. But also how they did these roofers who were just trying to make their money. These Mexicans up on top of a roof working, trying to earn their keep. And they stood down there on the bottom, on the ground, waiting for them to come down off that roof. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. It's all crazy.
I think someone needs to call 911. They are seriously like attacking me.
We'll call 911 right now.
Yep.
What's your location?
Call 911. I'm right at the corner of Jefferson. No, no, I will not. I will not get out of the car. No, no, I will not get out of the car. You guys, I need CEOs here
Get
now.
out of the car.
No, I
Get out
will
of the-
not get out of the car. You
Get out of
can't
the
do
fucking
this.
car.
Get your hands off of me. Get your fucking hands off me. Get your hands off me. I am not doing shit. I am observing. I am observing. I have not done anything. This is my constitutional right.
We're calling 911 right now.
I am not. You cannot arrest me. I'm observing. You can't arrest me. I'm observing. You cannot. I am not doing anything.
We're taking a video too.
Get off of me. Get off of me. Get. Someone call the MP or someone call the police.
Somebody help me.
Call the police. Call the police. Call them now. Call them now. Call them now.
We're calling 911. We're calling 911. They're calling 911 right now.
That's a darn shame, okay? That is a darn shame. Now listen, here's what the low down dirty devils, this is what they had to say about it. Of course, they had an excuse. Homeland Security posted this. Okay, they say, as DHS Gov, law enforcement conducted a targeted operation to arrest a serial criminal, illegal alien whose rap sheet includes multiple arrests for assault, domestic violence, and driving under the influence. An agitator began stalking and obstructing law enforcement. Law enforcement officers attempted to pull her over using their emergency lights to issue her a warning. Ignoring law enforcement commands, the agitator refused to pull over and began driving recklessly, including running stop signs, nearly colliding with multiple vehicles, and driving directly at law enforcement in an attempt to ram their vehicle. Her actions endangered law enforcement officers, the public, and allowed this violent criminal to remain at large. Do y'all hear this? Our officers arrested the agitator, obstructing justice. Do y'all hear this? This is all a darn shame. They need to stop lying on people. Stalking, harassing. Listen, here's what they're doing, okay? Make no mistake. These people are lying and saying when we citizens, okay, when citizens are out there recording them, they're saying that's stalking. If citizens are following them or, watching what they're doing, basically, and then warning other people that they're in the area, they're saying this is all stalking. So let us just come out there, harass you, brutalize you, and murder you in peace. Is that what they want? Because that's what it's starting to look like. Y'all think. It's only a matter of time before the people start behaving a whole lot more nefarious than they already are. I can feel it's coming in the air tonight. Okay? One box said Clarence Thomas looks like a melted milk dud. Honey, he is ugly. Okay, I'm not going to say he's ugly because I don't like to call people ugly, but I will say he's attractive deficient. Okay, please pay attention. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. So y'all see how they did that poor woman. But let's see how they did these Mexicans, honey, just trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. It's all egregious.
Are being witnesses to what is going on. We can tell that some of them are actually concerned to their safety. As we mentioned earlier, we spoke with some neighbors, and they did say that they believed this to be a medical emergency, and then they saw HSI, they saw people with green uniforms. We do know that they were trying to pepper spray a few of them. Like we've mentioned before, the Midland Fire Department is present. Midland County Sheriff's Office is also present. Earlier, we did see people with an HSI badge and police ICE logo in the back of their jacket. There is various witnesses to this. This is happening in a neighborhood in Midland. It is in Stonebridge Drive and Porterfield Road. We have been here for what is about an hour. As we are seeing, they are trying to run and try to get them.
Y'all hear that? And they chased a few of them. Honey. And then they stood there. And here's the thing. Clearly in Midland County, they don't give a darn about their immigrants because the fire department came and actually helped ICE to capture them. Must be a whole bunch of racist ass people in that area. Okay? Because the fire department, now y'all are working with ICE. Let me continue. All nefarious. But anyway, here's the thing. After ICE took the life of Alex Pretty, they're now talking about it's like Call of Duty. Ain't it cool? Oh, yeah, they're having a good time taking out people. Please pay attention.
Like Call of Duty. So cool, huh? Take the shot. Take the shot. Like Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty. So cool, huh?
Okay, y'all heard that. And unfortunately, that wasn't AI. Okay? It's all a hot mess. Now listen to this, where an ICE agent asks an immigrant for his paperwork or whatever, and then tells him he doesn't have the same accent as him.
You don't have the same accent as me. That's why I'm so you're going by accents now?
We just heard that agent saying, I can hear you don't have the same accent as me. That's why I'm asking you, which I think is a pretty stunning thing to hear. I mean, then so you're talking to them. You talk about the woman first, then there's him. And then actually Greg Bovino, right? The top guy at the time on the ground of all of this shows up by your window. And you've shared some more of that exchange. Let me play it.
The big boss over here. What's going on? They're just harassing people based on skin color. Are we in Germany?
No, come on.
What do you guys want to do today? You guys want to take me in or something?
Oh, that depends. Are you an illegal alien?
Illegal alien, man. Our planet, yes. I might be from another planet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
if that's the case, if you're from another planet, that counts too.
Well, if that counts, well, I'm an alien, guys. Let's do DNA tests and You got a lab? We can run some blood tests, see what the hell I have. You guys shooting at people, man. Somebody just got shot for what? Why did you guys shoot that lady? Answer me that. There's an officer today that shot a lady in the head, dude.
Really?
For what?
I don't know why they do the head, man.
He's sitting over there trying to play dumb. Talk about really. He never heard of it. Oh my goodness. I'm not even gonna say what I'd like to do to him, but let's continue.
You got all these stuff. You could have just got her, man. She's not gonna like fly out of the country.
Like an alien.
Like an alien with a spaceship.
With a spaceship.
Yeah.
So obviously you sound confident there, Ahmed, but I can only imagine. Obviously, this is hours after Renee is shot and killed. And you're sitting there feeling that guys already told you that because of your accent, you have to prove you're an American. Greg Bovino walks up. Yeah. Did you feel scared a bit that things could go wrong?
I mean, it was very obvious to me by the way Border Patrol was acting with me unprofessionally that they really didn't care about my identity. There's something else other than what was obvious that was going on. So when he said, you know what? I know you're not an American citizen, and I demand that you show me proof of that American citizenship verification, documents, whatever. I need that. What's making me ask you this stuff is you do not sound like me. You don't have the same, and then he pointed to his face, you don't have the same accent as me. So I was shocked, I was startled, and I said, we're using accents now to verify citizenship. Are we using, it was just absurd to hear that, you know, for the first time in my life. I'm like, accents? Wow, there's so many different accents in America, right? There's the Spanish accent, there's the Italian accent, there's the Boston accent.
Yeah, we know. We don't need you to go through the list of accents, please. Okay? It's all agreed to. So y'all hear this? What do you all make of this? Okay? XX Frank Nitty says the messy Mexicans deporting their own. Shaking my head. Latino on Latino cry. Sadly but true. Okay? Sadly but true. So, you know, here's the things, beloved. You should be preparing yourself for what you will do if you are encountered by ICE. Make sure you have your paperwork handy. Okay, if you're driving around, make sure it's in the glove compartment because they're going to be asking for it. They're going to be asking for it, okay? Make sure you have your birth certificate, social security, whatever you need to prove who you are and that you are an American, okay? Please pay attention. And, you know, at the end of the day, I've already decided what I'm going to do if I'm approached by ICE. I'm just going to pretend that I am deaf and can't talk. Okay? Please miss me with all of it. Honey, sitting there asking people all these darn questions and talking about they don't need warrants, please. Okay, they better know sign language is all I'm saying, because that's all they're going to get out of me. Let's continue. Here we go with the next clip.
So I was working on a client and she had just went to the Wendy's on Scenic right after Clayton Street. It's right by a QT, right by the precinct in Lawrenceville, and she said that she saw ICE there. So that is the closest to me that I have heard of sighting. So I just want to let people know they are apparently in downtown Lawrenceville now in unmarked vehicles. Apparently police was riding with them. Atlanta, I think she said. She might have said Gwinnett, but yeah, that's besides the point. They're here. Just wanted to let y'all know. Beware.
She said the police were riding with them, Atlanta, and then she said maybe she said Gwinnett. Baby, she definitely said Gwinnett. She definitely said Gwinnett, boo-boo. They're racist over there. Yeah, they're racist over there in Gwinnett, so they would definitely be the type to ride around with ICE, because I know better not be nary a black police officer in the city of Atlanta riding around assisting ICE, okay? Don't forget where y'all come from is all I'm saying if you're watching. All right, now with that all being said, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so this man is clearly pressed about ICE.
Getting political. That was murder. An ICU nurse who worked at the VA, who was legally carrying a firearm that was fucking holstered while he was filming, who is now being painted as a domestic terrorist because he took a gun to a protest. But all these 2A motherfuckers a couple years back were screaming Kyle Rittenhouse's name from the goddamn rooftops. Oh, that was different. Yeah, you're right. He had a fucking rifle strapped to his chest. The man who was shot and murdered by ICE was concealed carrying a firearm that he was legally allowed to fucking have. I am now seeing reports that it's even possible that they disarmed him by taking his weapon out of his holster that was at his 6 o'clock, and then they mag dumped the fucking guy. So if you are legally carrying a firearm and they take that off of your person and then utilize that as a justification to put rounds in your fucking back while you were laying face down on the pavement, then it was never about following the law. The Second Amendment doesn't matter anymore, and you're fucked. So where's all the don't tread on me 2A gun-toting, boot-licking fucktards? Or is it just when it's not on your fucking side? So I'm done playing the middle ground. I'm done making first aid videos that just might help, that can be seen by both sides. So fuck it. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. We are not mad enough. Yeah, fucking political.
Y'all heard what he said? He said, we're not mad enough, okay? And we aren't. Okay, people are not mad enough about what's going on. And here's the thing. They darn sure are not mad enough about this Epstein stuff. Why isn't everybody mad as hell, just like I am? Okay? What's really going on here? Now, I want ICE to run up on him. See how that turns out. Because I guarantee you that won't work good. Guarantee you. All right, I can tell from his whole demeanor. That man is mad as hell. And he's waiting for it. Okay? They don't want to mess with him. Trust me. But let's continue.
Being detained I asked why. They said that I was impeding a federal investigation. I stated that I was a U.S. citizen and that following is not illegal. The driver said that he wished that he would have been the one to have pulled me out so that he could have broken the window and been a little rougher, because apparently whoever signs the arrest is the one that gets the reward. I then was told that I was a terrible mother and I should be at home taking care of my own kids, not worrying about those people. Every single time that I'm scared to show up, to say something, I just think about all the other people that have so many more reasons to be scared than I do. The Black and brown neighbors that I have do not have that privilege. They told me that I was being detained. I asked why. They said that I was impeding.
That's always their excuse if you're out there recording them or just sites, just watching the sites that's going on or whatever. They're always saying that these people are impeding a federal investigation. First of all, you're not federal investigators. You're federal fools hired by Trump and his administration. Okay, these people are not even trained as they should be. They shouldn't be called federal anything. They should be called a bunch of bungling idiots, because that's what they all are, the entire administration. This really makes me so angry. If you all only knew. Okay, if you only knew. Let's continue. Now, this is a story about a pregnant woman who was detained by ICE illegally.
Did you know ICE has been illegally detaining pregnant women? In April of this year, Alicia arrived to an ICE check-in in Louisiana. She was detained without warning. Later, she found she was pregnant, but she received no help. She received poor food and was not given any medical treatment. Within a month, she started to experience severe pain, bleeding, and cramping. She was then forced to have an invasive uterine test and injected with an unknown medication. Later, it turns out that she miscarried. Then after that, they took her back to the facility for 2 more months. And then they deported her, separating her from her children. Disgusting.
What happens? My question is, what happens to the children when the parents are deported and they're being detained as well? Like the father who they dangled his 5-year-old son as a carrot, okay, to get him after he ran away. He and his son are in Texas in a detention center. The father is going to be deported, likely. What is going to happen to the son? Are they going to take him back to his mother? What happens to these children? Now that we know what's going on with the Epstein files, we already knew. But now that we have so much insight to all of these nefarious people, government officials, politicians, and all of these people knowing about this stuff, allegedly, at the end of the day, what the hell's going on with those children that are being detained by ICE? And we know that some of those people that work for ICE are ex-offenders. Okay, that's what we know. This is all so angering. Now, is that even a word? Okay, it's making me so angry. Now, listen, let's go to this other story about another mother who gives birth and then has to leave her baby in ICU.
So let me get this straight. A woman just gave birth and her newborn is so fragile that they're in the NICU, and ICE decided now is the time to take the mother away. That baby is lying in a hospital incubator without the mom, not because she was a danger and not because there was some kind of emergency, but because of an immigration system that treats people like paperwork. We've heard politicians say that we don't separate families. Clearly, that's a lie. If you're willing to remove a mother from their sickly newborn hours after giving birth while the newborn lies in intensive care, then you are by very definition separating families. Doctors will tell you skin-to-skin contact matters. Bonding matters. A mother's presence in a NICU can literally affect the outcome. ICE knew that, and they did it anyway. This isn't about borders or safety. It's about a system that... So let me get this straight.
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is absolutely egregious. Okay, it's time for us to go to the ancestors, beloveds. It is time for us to go to the ancestors about ICE and Trump. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about, so let's get to it. All right, now Byron Cook says next time going to be an AI video of us going back to Africa. Honey, that won't be AI. It'll likely be real. Okay, please pay attention. It's all crazy. A lot Queen Candy J says, and now this is below low down and dirty, Queen. Okay, how inhumane. Exactly. It is giving anti-1865 vibes. These are low down people, honey. They don't care about that poor baby laying up there in the NICU. Wow. But listen to this, because here's what they did to a disabled woman. She finally came out and spoke. I showed you all the clip when they were dragging her away that time, but now she's come out and did an interview. So let's get into it.
Someone who doesn't have the kind of arbitrary process and challenges I do would not know what to do with the sentence, move. I will break your effing window. And then back and forth between move, get out, trying to open my door, more threats of breaking a window, which I don't understand the functional purpose of. And it's not a warning, it's a threat of violence.
Were you there to protest ICE? Had you ever protested ICE before in that arena?
No.
So when you went that day and you were detained, as you said, what was that like for you once you were? What happened after they took you?
I experienced a very specific set of dehumanization practices during the 6 stages of detention and processing that I counted before I went unconscious and was taken out in an ambulance. You know, when I asked for disability accommodations, and I said, did anybody bring my cane with me from the car? I need that to walk, not stand, but walk, because my balance is bad. They said, there's no canes here. They stood me up in leg irons and said, walk, push my back. Walk, you can do it. Nobody said, maybe we should find something else. There was no medical screening. I was never once asked for my ID, even told I was under arrest, never charged.
Okay, now here's the question. If they don't ask you for your ID, if you're never told that you're under arrest, why are you going with them? Oh, that's right. They picked her up and carried her. That's why. I want you all to pay attention. This is nothing but lawlessness. Okay, complete lawlessness. Now, in this next story or this next clip, ICE drags a pregnant woman. Dirty devils.
Made our way to the center of the crowd and found a woman being held face down on the ground. People were screaming to let her go.
We kept yelling, she's pregnant, she's pregnant, she's pregnant. They put their knees in her and we kept telling them, she can't breathe, let her up, let her up.
In the chaos, the woman who was handcuffed was suddenly being dragged by one arm as the angry crowd threw snowballs and screamed at the federal agent.
So egregious, okay? And they say that woman lost her baby, sadly. Now listen to this devil here. This is a whole Karen. She finds it interesting that someone's fingers got blown off. Okay, she couldn't care less. People with no empathy are the worst. Okay, they are inhumane devils that don't deserve to breathe air, in my opinion.
Hey guys, just checking in. Did you see this? I'm just wondering whose fault it's going to be.
Mother.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like, I really do feel bad. Like, I feel bad that people are stupid enough to follow so blindly and put themselves in this situation.
Now, I want you all to pay attention to what she just said. Like, I do feel bad. No, she doesn't. You can tell by the caption of her video talking about Minneapolis protesters are outraged, as if they shouldn't be. But second of all, talking about whose fault's it going to be? Trump's in the administration, because they shouldn't have them out there throwing flash grenades at people. Fool. And then she's talking about they're so brainwashed or whatever. No, the people that follow Trump and his administration are the fools out here in these streets. Okay, she is so ugly and stupid. But let's continue.
But at the same time, I don't feel that bad. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's why I want to know. Hey guys, just checking in. Did you see this?
And then let me tell you all something too. I was reading the comments from her post, okay? I was reading the comments and the people were just so heartless and cruel. One person even went as far as to say that the person, the victim, that got her fingers blown off said that she was being performative and made sure to get right in front of the camera and start flailing on the ground like a fish. That's what they said. Okay, like she was not actually writhing in pain. These people are something else. Now, I just want you to see how angry some people are. Question is, as angry as some of these people are, what are they going to do about it? Because I have questions.
Dragged a pregnant woman by one fucking arm. Monsters dragged her face down on the road on snow like she was not a human being. The agents yanking her by the arm and putting a knee on her body while people are screaming, she can't breathe, she's pregnant, and they didn't fucking stop. This is a pregnant woman being treated like an animal in the streets of Minneapolis. We do not stay quiet about this.
Okay, he clearly crashed out. He clearly crashed out. Now, with that all being said, listen. I knew the conspiracy theories would start at some point. I knew the conspiracy theories would start at some point about Renee Nicole Good and Alex Pretty, because I noticed immediately after Mr. Pretty's death that his last name was Pretty. And I thought this is a pretty good story. Okay? So I knew the jokes would either come about their last names from the nefarious people on the right, or conspiracy theorists will come out and say that these people didn't really die and that it's all crisis actors. Well, somebody's come out and said it. So let's listen to it and see what we think. Okay? Let's listen to it and see what we think. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Ha! Queen Candy J said he clearly popped a few blood vessels. Sheesh. Okay? But the question is, what's he going to do about it? Just sit there and complain or what? Get out there with your people in the streets and make it happen.
Good and Alex Pretty were both 37 years old. They both had adjectives as their last names. They both have positive sounding names. Makes a pretty good story, huh? Both of the addresses where they were shot add up to 13. Renee was at 3325 Portland Ave, and Alex was at 2614 Nicollet Ave. Alex and his parents both live in Colorado. Renee is also from Colorado. They were both shot between 9 and 10 a.m. Renee was shot near a street called Nicollet. Alex was shot on a street called Nicollet, right next to Good Grocer and also Good Dwelling. Her name was Renee Nicole Good, and this is on Nicollet Street. This is a sign that was behind where Alex Pretty was shot. Notice the upside down star? Well, there was also an upside down star right behind where Renee was shot. And this symbol also happens to be a Masonic symbol. This one right here, a star with a crescent moon and a pendant body of Freemasonry. This building was previously occupied by Smart Therapy Center. It was a fraudulent autism program, and there was a $14 million fraud scheme. This is the business that now occupies this building, New American Development Center, New America. This is almost like a statement that he was shot and killed in front of something that says New America. The sign was there when he got shot, but if you go to Google Earth now, the sign is gone. They were both shot just 2 miles away from each other. Renee was shot within 1 mile of the George Floyd incident. And Renee's family hired the same lawyer that Floyd's family hired. Alex's name was searched in Israel on December 14th, and his name was searched again on January 18th, just a few days before the incident. It says here Alex's birthday was 6/1/1988, and these numbers add up to 33. Renee had 3 kids whose ages add up to 33. Renee was shot on the 3300 block of Portland Avenue. There's an alleged witness who lives near 33rd in Portland, and they mentioned how the ICE officer that shot her needed 33 stitches due to another incident. Now on Google Earth, they've recently blurred out all of the houses around where Renee was shot. And I know it was recent because this is a screenshot that was taken just a few days ago. And notice how there's only 2 dates to choose from. But if you go right up the street, then there's multiple dates to choose from up to 2025. Anywhere else you go, there's multiple dates to choose from. So why are these houses now blurred out, and why is there only 2 dates? Now let's look at this picture real quick. Does this look normal to you? Where's this guy's head? This is a screenshot taken. Where is his head? And they said Alex had his phone in his hand. Does that look like a phone to you? What is that? What about this guy's weapon right here? Where's the rest of it? Does that look normal? Where's this guy's hands? Why can't we see any hands? And why would your hand even be in there? What's going on down here with where this guy's foot is supposed to be? Why does it look like a camera or something? What is that? There's supposed to be a foot right there. Nothing about this looks normal. Now, this is the guy that allegedly disarmed Alex Pretty. He doesn't say anything after he disarms him. The guy just runs off, silent. And does this look normal to you anyway? Explain to me what about this looks normal at all. Can he even see? And why is his, I guess, hood just like melted to his face? Like, what is that? This doesn't look normal in the slightest bit. Now, let's look at this real quick. Watch this guy's hand, his left hand. Does that look normal? Can your hand do that? When you're reaching down for something, does your hand ever just bend backwards like that? Look at his fingers. That type of stuff doesn't happen. And this is one of the clearest videos I could find. And then notice how when you zoom in, it gets all pixelated. This is so that they can blame stuff like this on compression or whatever the fuck. The videos that you take with your phone do not do this when you zoom into them. Look at his fingers. That looks normal? You're gonna tell me that that looks entirely normal. And this is just one example that I'm showing. These glitches are everywhere in the videos. But because they've intentionally taken away your attention spans, you're no longer able to pay attention to details. You no longer have the patience to put pieces together and figure anything out. And does this even look normal? Why is the blue of his shirt on his neck right there? Why is the bottom of his ear right here see-through? Why is there red on the other ear coming off the flag? You know what? Sure, this was just for educational and entertainment purposes only. Oh, and I gotta give credit to my girlfriend, Molly, who actually did most of the research that went into this. Okay, so Renee Good and Alex Pretty.
Okay, so what do you all think about this? Let me hear it. What do you all think about all of this information that you've just been exposed to? I have several questions, but hold on. Tell me your thoughts. I'm going to share something on the screen in just a second. Okay, so let's see if these pictures are the same, because I think there's a logical explanation for everything that he just said, or at least most of it. Okay, so here is the picture that I showed you all days ago of the man who actually disarmed Alex Pretty. Okay, there he is. He has on a gray jacket, jeans, and it looks like some Timberlands or some sort of boots, and there is the gun. This is the picture that he showed you. Okay, now, the person looks like they have on the same jacket. Hold on, let's go back real quick. But what's interesting is this part right here. Okay, because I don't see that on this picture. I know it's not zoomed in really a lot, but that doesn't look the same to me. What do you all think? I don't know. I find it very interesting. What I think is going on here, this is just my opinion. I think Reggie says he'll reserve his judgment pending more investigation. That's a good thing to do. More information. Here's what I think. I think that there are Photoshop pictures, edited images, and even edited videos, AI videos that people have put out, mainly Trump's administration, my opinion. And I think that they have put some of this stuff out at the end of the day to throw people off, maybe. Who knows the reason? But as far as Renee and Alex having names that were adjectives and both being 37 years old and the other coincidences, well, to me, that is called synchronicity. Because stuff like that happens to me all the time. Okay, to me, that's nothing more than synchronicity. And also, in numerology, the number 37, which is their age, that's basically an angel number. Okay, it's a sign from the universe, giving full spiritual support, okay, for opportunities that one chooses to pursue. So that's an angel number. And at the end of the day, I think that maybe, that's some of that stuff is a reach. I don't know. At the end of the day, I do think that two people are absolutely dead. That's what I do think, and more to come. Okay, if I'm just being honest, sadly. Now, here is a woman saying that ICE can't seem to find her husband. And where do you hear this story? Melody says psyop and edited to fit their narrative. That's a very good idea. I absolutely believe it could be true.
Can't find my husband. My husband was granted voluntary departure out of the United States, and a judge ordered that my husband was going to be able to take a commercial flight, a regular flight, out of San Diego to relocate him to Brazil, where we were going to start our new life. However, I signed on to the app this morning that we have been able to use to communicate, and it says that he is no longer in the system. Now, I called Otay Mesa Detention Center and I said, hey, why am I unable to communicate with my husband? And the person on the other end of the phone says, we don't know where he is. I said, what the fuck do you mean you don't know where he is? She said, this means he's probably in the process of being discharged. Under normal circumstances, I would say, great. We have been waiting for his discharge for quite some time. However, he does not have a flight that was supposed to be arranged while he was still in detention. He does not have any communication with the outside world. You have not communicated with my attorney to organize his flight home. Do you want to know why? I just received a call from one of his friends in the facility with him who just said they took him in the middle of the night to bring him to Louisiana. This means that ICE is going against the judge's order to allow him to take a commercial flight out of the United States, and instead, they are going to take him to Louisiana and put him on a deportation flight out of Louisiana to eventually end up in Rio. One, why is your friend having to be the one to communicate that information to me? Two, why, when I call the facility, then you tell me you don't know where he is. You know exactly where he is, and you know that the reason you're not telling me is because he's not supposed to fucking be there. I don't know if he's on a plane. I don't know if he's on a bus. I don't know the next time I'll speak to him. And this is all going on when it was never what was agreed on by the court. If they know that I am so on top of his case, I can't imagine what's happening to the people who don't have that luxury of someone who is consistently trying to track them down on a daily basis. The reason I am so diligent about trying to figure out where he is every single day is because I know that things like this are happening and people are getting lost in the system. And I cannot even imagine the families that they are taking advantage of when people don't have the means to consistently communicate with their loved ones. I am sick and fucking tired of this administration.
Yeah, I am too. Okay, I am too. And here's the thing. Speaking of this administration, Reggie just said something about a journalist. Is your husband a reporter? Okay, you made me think about, or did you marry an immigrant? You made me think about Jamal Khashoggi or Jamal Ahmad Khashoggi. Okay, because Don Lemon, okay, the way they're targeting him, arresting him, and those other Black journalists, at the end of the day, and the way Pam Bondi was so adamant about doing so, I don't put anything past them. Okay, we know that Trump does not like Mr. Lemon. Okay, so just remember that reporter, Jamal Ahmad Khashoggi, what happened to him? And you do know that Trump is friends with the man who had him taken out. Okay, the Saudi prince. Okay, the crowned prince. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. This is all so egregious.
Horrific news right now that everyone needs to know about in Minnesota. According to doctors on the ground, women with high-risk pregnancies in Minnesota are not coming to the hospital. They are scared of going to the hospital and instead giving birth by themselves at home in Minneapolis because out of fears that they will be detained by ICE. I just spoke to one of those doctors, Dr. Aaron Stevens, who's an OBGYN at a Twin Cities hospital, who tells me that the number of women coming in for critical medical care, especially those with high-risk pregnancies, has plummeted ever since ICE began its operations in the Twin Cities. And she now has confirmed reports of women literally 8 centimeters dilated, giving birth on their own in the hospital or in their homes because they are scared to go to the hospitals, because they are scared that ICE is going to apprehend them. ICE agents are actively in the hospitals, seemingly patrolling hospitals as well. This is very serious and people need to know about it. So spread the word, follow along for more. And if you want to see my full interview with Dr. Stevens.
Why are they allowing them in these hospitals to sit there and harass people? Okay, why are they allowing them to come into these darn hospitals? The hospitals clearly don't care. If they're letting them come in there and just harass people, okay, people coming in trying to give birth and all of these things, snatching up women who've just given birth to children who are in ICU. This is beyond crazy, like Queen Candy J, beloved. Okay. Tanisha said the only one not dead is Epstein. Okay, absolutely. That's what it looks like. Now let's get into this because Pam Bondi says the DOJ will start executing members of Antifa. According to this TikToker, let's hear what they have to say about it because I find it all egregious. not getting rid of Antifa, which simply stands for anti-fascism, okay?
Moment, Pam Bondi just said they're going to start executing American citizens who they deem as being Antifa. She said, just like we're doing with the cartels, we're going to do the same thing with Antifa. Everybody needs to watch this clip and understand how serious this really is.
More than just getting the bad guy off the streets. It's breaking down the organization brick by brick. Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom.
That is not normal political rhetoric. They are openly talking about executing American citizens based on their political beliefs. Antifa is used as a catch-all term to describe anybody who is against fascism, meaning what she said is essentially a threat to dissent itself. Antifa is not an organized terrorist group. This has been proven time and time again. People who are against fascism are not criminals. But here we have the Attorney General of the United States saying she wants to treat these people like they're cartel members. That type of language mirrors authoritarian regimes where governments conflate opposition with terrorism. This should terrify everybody who values democracy, due process, and basic civil rights. The Department of Justice should never operate as a political weapon. However, Donald Trump has made it clear he is not ashamed to use it as one, because we all know anybody who protests anything Donald Trump does is automatically going to be labeled an Antifa terrorist. The pattern is clear. Silence critics, label them as extremists, and justify state violence against them under the guise of security.
You know, I love that young man's commentary. He's very smart and wise for his youthful age. But at the end of the day, he does remind me of Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. Okay. Now, with that all being said, okay, XX Frank Nitty says Antifa means anti-fascism. Shaking my head. They made that group up literally a boogeyman. Yes, they did. It's just people who don't agree with fascism. It's not even a group of people that are going around terrorizing people as they try to portray them. Okay, as they try to make it seem. Now, here's another report from the same young man where he's talking about Elon Musk removing the location tag. And here's why. Let's get into it with his low down self. Elon, I'm convinced, is the Antichrist. At least he's one of them, in my opinion.
Musk just removed the location tag feature, which shows the country an account is posting from after tons of MAGA accounts were exposed for not being from the United States. Here's the first one going by MAGA Scope. They were exposed for being from Nigeria. And this account going by Captive Dreamer, as you can see, he's got the MAGA hat on in his profile picture, is actually from Australia. And here we have an Ivanka Trump news page that's also from Nigeria. Here's another big MAGA account. As you can tell, he's from India. This guy who goes by the name Conscious Philosopher is actually from Serbia. Here's one of his posts down here saying, in the American Civil War, Confederates were actually the good guys. Right after a massive wave of accounts pushing pro-Trump propaganda got exposed for being overseas, Elon Musk decided to delete the feature. This confirms what many people have been speculating for a long time, that many of these big MAGA accounts are actually just bot farms. They create hundreds of thousands of accounts pretending to be from America, flood the internet with political propaganda, then just hope nobody can see where they're posting from. And when they got exposed for doing this, Elon Musk didn't increase transparency. He decided to take it away.
Now, I want you all to see how low down and dirty Elon is. This is exactly what he's doing. And also, I want you all to pay attention because I already told you this. I told you all days ago, and I had mentioned it before months ago, that in fact, they pay people, social media content creators, to spew propaganda and to say favorable things about Trump and his nefarious, wicked administration. Okay? That's what they do. Well, I shouldn't say nefarious and wicked because actually nefarious means wicked, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, insidious. How about that? So this is what some people are doing. And so it would only be befitting that they would have these bot accounts, okay, and people pretending to be MAGA and all of this other ignorance that's going on. Now, let's go to this next clip, and we're almost out of here. And I am so glad because I haven't had a thing to eat all day. I have literally been working all day. Y'all just don't even know.
Detention facilities in the United States are in facilities owned by private prison corporations, namely CoreCivic and the Geo Group. So if these motherfuckers want to profit off of human suffering and they want to terrorize families, well, we should return the favor, right? So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys pictures of the CEO of the Geo Group and CoreCivic. They DM me their fucking addresses. I want their family trees. I want their cousins, uncles, aunts, sisters, brothers, all that. You motherfuckers want to walk around this country causing all this profiting off of human suffering, terrorizing people's communities and neighborhoods. Well, we're going to come to yours. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to get some blowhorns and shit like that, make everybody motherfucking hate you if they don't already. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or you could just put an M on your head and be Luigi's brother now. These motherfuckers should not feel safe walking around this motherfucking country. They don't want to let other people walk around feeling safe in this motherfucking country. And immigrants, legal citizens of the United States, have to live in fear every day because of these motherfuckers. Shit needs to stop, man.
So let's make Damon famous. And of course, David too. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell y'all something. I want ICE to run up on him. Okay, him and that other guy with the big mustache, let ICE run up on them and see how that turns out. I don't think it'll be good for ICE, that is. Okay, Nene says, Queen be putting in work and we truly appreciate it. Thank you, beloved. Okay, thank you. It's good to be appreciated. Now, with that all being said, I'm about CBS orders to take kids out of his. Hold on. Let me see what this is real quick. Okay. Whatever that was, it got deleted. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, listen, I love you all to life. It is my pleasure to bring you all this very informative news, okay, and information. With that all being said, I'm out of here because I have to be up to do it all over again tomorrow, not to mention all the other things I have to do. Okay, with that all being said, listen, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. I will see you in the morning. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to try to get up early, I'm going to get up early, definitely, but I'm going to try to start my broadcast early because I really don't like when I have to start around 11 and 12 o'clock. That just throws my whole day off because I have so many things to do. It's always easier for me to do the broadcast as early as possible. Okay, but I want to tell songwriter Sonny, I love that. From Musk to Dawn. That's going to be the title of tomorrow's broadcast. Okay, please pay attention. That is literally going to be what's on the thumbnail tomorrow. From Musk till Dawn. Okay, I love it. And they are vampires, aren't they? I mean, why are they collecting blood from children? What are they really doing? Okay, with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you enjoy the rest of this night. And I'm out of here. All right, I'm out of here. Always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives, and also don't do anything nefarious, okay? Try to be a better version of yourselves as the days go by. That's what I try to do. Though sometimes, sadly, the queen falls short, okay? The queen falls short, beloved. Okay, so anyway, I love you all to life, and I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got